5 gangs in New Orleans, post-Katrina.
And today's sentences against members of the One Tenors gang were the result of 3.5 years of work.
But that's the money. Yeah. This the new version of the hot boys and man and fresh. Yeah. Now I'm building up on that baby type shit.
Michael Anderson was accused of shooting 5 teens in Central City back in 2006, but federal prosecutors say he was not the one responsible.
And instead, they're pointing the finger at Telly Hankton.
New Orleans, a city renowned for its rich history, vibrant culture, and iconic jazz music, has also grappled with the darker side of urban life. Over the years, various gangs have emerged, each carving out its territory and establishing its dominance in the city's underworld. From drug trafficking to violent confrontations, these gangs have left an indelible mark on the city's landscape. This compilation delves into 5 of the most notorious gangs that have operated in New Orleans, shedding light on their origins, activities, key figures, and the legal actions taken against them. Before the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, New Orleans was characterized by small, localized gangs rooted in its 17 voting districts, known as wards. These weren't expansive gangs like the Crips or Bloods, but were local crews or cliques with 10 to 15 members each. The late 1980s saw the rise of some of the city's most infamous criminal organizations. Notable among them were the Glenn Metz Gang, Sam Clay Organization, Hardy Boys, and the Richard Pina Organization. As the 1990s progressed, other groups like the Bally Boys and Hankton Organization emerged, with some persisting into the early 2000s. Hurricane Katrina reshaped the city's criminal landscape. Many gangs relocated, leading to violent confrontations in other cities. New Orleans-based gangs expanded their operations, reaching cities like Atlanta, Houston, New York, and more. To combat this surge in gang-related violence, Mayor Mitch Landrieu initiated the Multi-Agency Gang Unit in 2012. At number 5, we have Josephine Dog Pound.
Profile murders, federal investigators say police arrested the wrong guy. Michael Anderson was accused of shooting 5 teens in Central City back in 2006, but federal prosecutors say he was not the one responsible.
And instead, they're pointing the finger at Telly Hankton, a man who's been called the crime boss of New Orleans.
18, she 32. She like me on that young shit. I'm hood and I'm strapped up. My black tee, I don't act up. I play it cool and I act dumb. My Ruger left when he act up.
The Josephine Dog Pound gang, commonly known as the Dog Pound, carved its reputation in Central City, New Orleans. The gang's moniker is derived from its origins on Josephine Street in Central City, with a history tracing back to 2003. The Dog Pound was deeply entrenched in Central City's drug trade. Their criminal record includes at least 4 murders, multiple attempted murders, and a series of shootings. The gang's modus operandi was to instill a climate of fear using violence and intimidation against rivals, witnesses, and even their victims. Michael Mike Anderson, recognized as a pivotal figure in the gang. Anderson was implicated in the 2006 shooting of 5 young men in Central City, a tragic event that occurred post-Hurricane Katrina and garnered significant media attention. Although initially found guilty, a subsequent overturning of the verdict due to prosecutorial misconduct led to Anderson entering a no-contest plea for the murders. He also admitted guilt in a federal court for his involvement in a racketeering conspiracy. A comprehensive federal investigation culminated in a 24-count indictment against multiple members of the gang, including Anderson. All 8 individuals named in this indictment subsequently entered guilty pleas. The gang's activities, particularly the 2006 quintuple homicide, thrust New Orleans into the national spotlight. It underscored the city's ongoing struggle with violent crime, especially in the turbulent aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. At number 4, we have Young Melph Mafia. Emerging around 2005, the Young Melph Mafia, or YMM, entrenched itself in Central City, New Orleans, maintaining its operations until roughly 2014. YMM's influence was palpable along Martin Luther King Boulevard, close to the erstwhile Melph housing development in Central City. From their adolescent years, YMM members were deeply involved in the street-level distribution of crack cocaine within Central City. Their criminal repertoire also included violent confrontations with rival factions, notably the 110ers. At just 23, Allen, a pivotal figure in YMM, faced convictions for RICO violations, firearms conspiracy, and multiple murder charges. His criminal record includes involvement in the murders of Vinnie Smith in April 2012, Deshaun Hartford in June 2012, and complicity in Travis Thomas's death in May 2013 on the I-10. Boyd's criminal journey culminated in a 40-year federal prison sentence after admitting to drug and firearm offenses. His sentence factored in his role in the 2013 homicide of Travis Thomas on I-10 West. Among other violent incidents, a slew of YMM members confronted federal indictments, with many opting for guilty pleas. These legal actions were part of a concerted effort by both local and federal agencies to curb the tide of gang-induced violence and drug trafficking in New Orleans. At number 3, we have the 110ers gang.
Breaking news involving the murder of a 5-year-old girl and a mother of 3. Emotions ran high this afternoon as a judge imposes sentences in Breonna Allen and Shawana Pierce's killing.
Members of the 110ers gang who were involved in a very high-profile murder in Central City 3.5 years ago. The mayor emerged from these steps calling this a sad day for the city of New Orleans.
Every member of the 110ers gang was here at Tulane and Broad today. 11 of the suspected gang members still do not have attorneys. That's a big problem. Judge Tracy Fleming's Cavalier pushed back this hearing to try to determine counsel to July 12th. A lot of people tell us it's going to be very problematic as all of these 15 gang members have to be tried together, so getting individual representation is a problem.
The 110ers gang carved its niche in the 10th and 11th wards of New Orleans, predominantly in the Uptown region. Many of its founding members hailed from the St. Thomas projects, which faced demolition in 1998, with a repertoire that includes drug trafficking, murder, theft, and kidnapping. The 110ers gang is recognized as one of the most violent factions in their domain. Their criminal activities caught the attention of the multi-agency gang, MAG, unit in 2010, which subsequently linked them to multiple drug-induced homicides in the Central City area. The gang's violent streak often brought them into conflict with other gangs. Notably, they clashed with the young Melph Mafia and the 8th Ward's Ride or Die gang, leading to prolonged violent confrontations. May 2013 marked a significant crackdown on the gang when 15 of its members faced charges in a comprehensive 51-count indictment. This was heralded as New Orleans' most sweeping street gang indictment. The charges pinned them for at least 10 murders, including a particularly hard-trending incident in May 2012. Among the many violent incidents attributed to the gang, the murder of 5-year-old Breonna Allen stands out. The young girl was on her porch during a relative's birthday celebration when members of a rival gang initiated a shooting. This incident also tragically claimed the life of Shawana Pierce, 33, who was merely driving past the scene. This event catalyzed a determined effort by both local and federal law enforcement to prosecute New Orleans gangs. At number 2, we have Bird Gang.
One of the hardest out there. Freak on the mouth, he be home real soon. Come on, put the camera on this. All my niggas doing banging on the show.
We out that night, hit you uptown. Got Chopper City niggas gon' bust for me.
Shit gon' always turn up when the killers link. Lot of evil in the room, only one can think. Covered up as he sliding up, cause he full of.
The Bird Gang, also recognized as the Piff Gang, has its roots in Central City, New Orleans. The gang's inception can be traced back to the notorious TJP public housing development, colloquially known as the Magnolia Projects, with a track record in drug trafficking, murder, theft, and kidnapping. The Bird Gang has earned its reputation as one of the most lethal gangs in New Orleans. The city's multi-agency gang unit has even labeled them as one of the most murderous gangs in town, highlighting their prolonged history of violence. Their long-standing feud with the 3NG gang escalated during the 2009 Mardi Gras parade, resulting in a shooting that injured 7 individuals, including an infant. This incident thrust the gang into national limelight and piqued the FBI's interest. A daylight shootout on Magazine Street in 2017 saw 2 men injured due to the gang's activities. In a shocking event in November 2020, 6 Bird Gang members faced charges for the murder of a woman from Grass Valley, California. The murder followed a botched attempt to buy 30 pounds of marijuana using counterfeit currency. In March 2018, a grand jury indicted 3 members on charges related to heroin distribution. August 2021 saw multiple gang members indicted by the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana. The charges span murder, racketeering, drug trafficking, and RICO violations, among others. The gang's hierarchy includes notable figures like Toki Hefner, who is recognized as one of its leaders. At number 1, we have the 39ers gang.
New version of the cash money, but this dusty money, this the new version of the hot boys and man and fresh. Now I'm building up on that baby type shit, but this the new version of real is real.
Talk to the flame, so please don't just talk on my name. I know some OGs that hop out and walk with a cane.
Yeah. Free lit, straight up. Yeah. Just like that. Free sweat too. You know what I'm talking about? Man, we walk all the way from out the G to the gas station.
The 39ers gang, a formidable hybrid entity, was birthed from the union of the G Strip gang from the Upper 9th Ward's Gallier Street and the 3NG, a renowned drug syndicate from Central City. Their stronghold was around 3rd and Galvez Streets. Notably, several members were also associated with the Florida housing development. In a strategic move in 2010, these gangs amalgamated to dominate the heroin trade across their territories. The gang's criminal activities span drug trafficking, bank robbery, prostitution, murder, theft, and kidnapping. Their violent streak is evident with links to over 45 murders, including the 2010 assassination of the acclaimed rapper, Magnolia Shorty. The 39ers gang's dominance led to confrontations with various other gangs. Their rivalries include the Ride or Die gang from the 8th Ward and factions associated with the erstwhile Calliope and Desire projects. Operating predominantly in the 9th Ward around Gallier Street, the G Strip gang also had a presence around the Desire and Florida housing projects. Their involvement in multiple homicides in the 9th Ward has been documented by homicide detectives. This gang, with its roots in Central City, established its dominance around 3rd and Galvez Streets, close to the Calliope projects. Before their merger with the G Strip gang, they controlled Central City's drug scene. Their early 2000s saw them clashing with another Central City faction, the Calliope Porch Boys. By 2003, the Porch Boys had been effectively decimated. February 2017 marked a significant crackdown on the gang. 10 of its members faced indictments on a range of charges, from racketeering to murder. All the accused received the harshest prison sentences. The charges implicated them in 14 murders, including the killing of a local rapper and a federal informant. The jury's verdict found all 10 guilty of racketeering. The intricate web of organized crime in New Orleans, as illustrated by the activities of these 5 gangs, underscores the challenges the city has faced in its fight against gang violence and drug trafficking. While law enforcement agencies have made significant strides in curbing the influence of these gangs, their legacy continues to impact the communities they once controlled. As New Orleans moves forward, it remains crucial to understand the history and dynamics of these gangs to ensure a safer future for all its residents.